Getting traffic to your website is easy. It's getting the right traffic that poses the biggest issue. How do you do it? By solving a problem with great content. I'm Ryan Schaefer from Highlight Marketing Team, and here are 3 ways to get more of the right traffic to your website. Number 1, optimize your website. You've got a website, which is great. But what is it that you're telling customers? A good lead gen website should be clear, concise, and visually appealing. Everything about it should make sense, from your images to your wording. It should also be consistent. Use consistent fonts and make sure your color scheme is easy on the eyes. But most importantly, make sure you're telling a story that creates an emotional response. At the top of the website, make sure you're very clear on letting each viewer know what to do and who it's for. At this point, you also want to have a call to action, such as buy now or get started, which gets that person the option to make a quick decision. Why do you want to do that right off the bat? Because you only have a few seconds to make your point once someone lands on that page. And if they're confused or turned off, they'll go back to their search. You want to make sure that your above the fold content, which is anything in the section of your website that people see before scrolling, is clear and appealing. And for SEO purposes, make sure to include your key search term right in the main messaging. You want the people to find you for all of the right reasons. And here's a tip. If you're not sure how to optimize for key terms, most website builders offer free plugins. For example, if you're using WordPress, Yoast SEO is great. They're really easy to use, and it walks you through the entire process. Speaking of key terms, make sure to talk more about them throughout the rest of your website. That's the focus. If it's a popular search term and difficult to rank for, go ahead and make it more specific. For example, instead of trying marketing services, try social media marketing services for small business. Larger companies can afford to throw a lot of money away on advertising. For you, it's better off that you go for more defined content, so you don't have to blow your budget just to make it to the second page of Google. And here's another tip. Go to Google Trends to see how often people are searching for specific key terms and phrases. Additionally, in Google Ads, you can see how much a top page result will cost you. A well-optimized website also tells a story. Start with the above the fold content, your story title, then focus on a problem that people have, then show empathy for those people and explain why it doesn't have to be a problem. And finally, show them the way that you solve that problem and why your company is the best option for them. Everyone claims to be the best, and all too many companies start with that point. By telling the story, you're actually engaging the reader, sympathizing with their issue, and showing that you support them.
Number 2, use social media to drive traffic back to your website. Social media isn't exactly easy to understand, especially when it comes to business. What do you post? How often? What sort of content do people want to see? Well, it's different for every industry, but one consistency that I've found is that you don't want to give it all away on your social media channels. Have a great story to tell? Provide a snippet on social media with some video, a graphic, or an excerpt from an article. Then create the full content and put it on your website. For example, if you want to start a blog or vlog, do it! But don't put all of the content on social media. Instead, put a link to that content on social media. Sure, you may have to spend a few dollars to boost it, but that traffic goes back to your website and you give people a chance to become your leads. Likes and comments are great, though they don't mean much in the grand scheme of things if you're not selling your product or service. By driving those people to your website, you're enhancing your SEO as well. Why? Because search engines will start to view your website as a reputable resource. What type of content should you create? Obviously, that depends on your business, but it should always align with the story you tell on your website and in all of your other marketing. If you can't tie it back to your company, what you believe in, and what will help your customers solve their problem, then it just doesn't make sense. Don't post for the sake of posting. Do it with a purpose. And here's a tip. Try a few different social media channels out. Continue to use the ones that work for you and that make you feel comfortable when you post. You don't need to post everywhere. Work smarter, not harder. Here's another really important tip. Add a contact form to every page of your website, including your blog posts. If a customer is ready to reach out, this is your opportunity. Make it as easy as possible to connect. If they have to stop and search for that contact form, there's a good chance they'll move on before reaching out. We know this for a fact because most of the leads that we get actually come from blog posts.
3. Start a consistent email subscriber campaign. Once you start getting traffic and inquiries, you'll be able to start building a list of people who love what you do, along with people who may be interested in giving your business a try. At this point, you'll want to start providing them with information and updates on a consistent basis. My suggestion? Start a weekly email campaign focused around the news of the week. Maybe it's a blog related to industry happenings, or perhaps you want to provide some awesome customer success stories. Keep the content fresh, relevant, and non-disruptive. You don't want to make it seem forced or as if it's a big sales pitch. Email campaigns allow you to stay connected with customers and potential customers by continuously focusing on ways to help them better understand your product or service and how you can help them solve their problems. For example, if you're working for a cybersecurity company and there's a big risk out there, get your customers that information about it and how you can help them solve the issue before it becomes a major problem. Just as we mentioned a few times earlier, make sure you're always relating it back to your story and how you solve that problem for the customer. Now, if you're already creating social media content, you can put the highlights from the previous week into that email and repurpose it. Not everyone follows you on social media, and not everyone is on your email list, but you want to get the message out and inform them either way. And a cool thing about email lists is that you can segment them. So if you have to send out multiple pieces of content focused on different types of problems, you can segment your audience or separate them based on which articles they click on. That way, you can get them content that interests them most instead of using a catch-all approach. Hey, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more marketing tips. If you like the content you saw, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to our channel below. That way you're going to get alerted when we publish new videos. Stay tuned for more marketing tips and make sure to visit the website. We're going to drop the link there in the comments. And if you'd like, go ahead and leave us an all caps message down below. Be angry about it and tell us what we could do better. Thanks for watching.